Welcome to the Hammered Hooligans podcast. I'm your host, Joe. And my co-hosts are...
Matthew.
Skylar.
All right, so before we start this thing, I'm going to take the shot right. Give me 1 second.
Fuck you, bro. That's a solid intro.
Yeah, you're right.
Best intro, boys. All right, who are you?
I'm Jorge. What's up, guys?
First of all, we fucking slugged this. Jesus, now I gotta take some drinks.
So how you guys doing today?
I'm doing absolutely fine.
I'm doing pretty good too. I got off work super late. So.
Oh, dude, it was
Sick.
hot.
Oh, dude. Texas weather, dude. Oh,
Texas
95
heat.
degrees outside all day? What the fuck?
you know,
Just-
the humidity is insane.
That shot's hitting me harder than it was.
By the way, this is being recorded in what? Fucking March?
May 2020.
May 2020. So it's like for most people, this is what, spring?
Yeah.
Nah, Texas,
It's
we don't
straight
get
up
spring.
summer, dog.
This is just
Was it-
heat,
Was
boys.
it a week ago? It was almost like 100 degrees, but the humidity was like 70%.
Yeah.
So it's like swamp weather, but like in hell.
Yeah.
Swamp weather.
By the way, Jorge took a shot of New Amsterdam pink lemonade flavored vodka. If you guys don't know it, you should definitely
Is it
try
vodka or is it whiskey?
It's vodka. It's a Barstool. It's got the New Amsterdam shape,
Okay.
or sorry, bottle shape. But it's very smooth. It's really easy to drink straight. So if you're drinking and you're doing drinking games,
That's the play.
it slaps. Anyways,
Hell
okay,
yeah,
so
brother.
let's get this podcast started, guys.
So I guess we can start off with this Reddit question I have for you guys. I have not yet shown these guys the question. I
My
just
boy.
saved it separately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boy.
Joe just ripped ass. by the
Didn't
way.
he just rip
Yeah.
ass?
All right,
Yeah,
so
boy.
we're going to start this shit off. All right. What is the most creepy/unnerving experience that's ever happened to you guys?
this podcast, right?
God
right
damn,
now.
dude,
Oh,
I can
shit.
smell your ass. I can smell ass, dog.
That fart was the most unnerving thing I've
I'm
ever
not gonna lie.
experienced.
Boy, I heard that shit sounded bubbly.
I'm not gonna lie. Once I graduated high school, I've come to find out that every male in my life farts. When they fart, it's stinkier than mine. That's
Yeah,
super
boy.
weird, but it's honestly kind of scary. Cause like when I fart, I'm like, oh yeah, that's stinky, and then like someone else farts, it's like, ugh, it smells like absolute caca. So I'm so weird.
That's me at work, dog. What do you mean?
I must just spit my fucking drink out. Thanks.
But no, it's like one of those like small things where it's like, it's not like terrifying, but like it's.
It's
kinda-
strange.
it's kinda
You-
weird,
You
like-
feel inferior.
Yeah, I'm feeling fear because my farts don't stink as much.
Bro.
But I don't know.
All right.
It's like it's gotten so bad over there at work for me because I have to tell people that I'm gonna fart.
Oh yeah.
And then they clear the room
Oh,
for some
no.
fucking reason. I
That
hate
thing
it.
fucking stinks.
I hate it.
My favorite time was when you in our truck it has they're not called suicide doors, but you to unlock the back row passenger doors, you have to do the front doors first. And our coworker got in the back and Jorge farted, but the thing is both doors were closed, so he couldn't get out. And he's like, "Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!"
Fucking
And
gas
he
chambers,
and he
boys.
couldn't get out because he was getting gas. He was getting gas. So it was so bad, dude. It was funny, but that was after
I
like
felt bad.
I was after working like a 9-hour day or something like that. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what else scares you guys? Or sorry, can you repeat the Reddit
Yeah,
question?
the question is, what is the most creepy/unnerving experience that's ever happened to you?
It's creepy and
Unnerving.
experience.
I mean, I can go first. I
Yeah.
have one just on off the rip.
Go
Okay.
ahead. I can't
Let's get
read
it.
it.
So off the rip, I actually have Skylar, you remember the creek, right?
The creek, yes.
The creek. Okay. So for the people who weren't in the boys.
The creek.
Okay. The creek was this shitty area in the backwoods near the housing area that we happened to live in. And
And like elementary school and stuff like that.
yeah, like this was our adolescence. We used to ride the bikes over there with fucking lighters
It
to
was
go
really
do
fun,
dumb
actually.
shit.
Just
It was
Homies and bikes, dog. It always sounds
always
cool.
a good time, right? So one time I went back there with my friend Aubrey, and we were looking out into the woods, and I swear we could see this like shape, and it looked like something looking at you, right? And we kept getting closer and closer to it, and we're like, is that just trees or is it some, And it fucking moved,
Oh.
and we fucking lost it, dude. We're like fucking
Y'all booked it? Yo, y'all saw Sasquatch?
Bro, it was
fucking
Bigfoot
booking
trying to
it
vibe
out.
with you
Dude,
guys,
no,
dog.
Bigfoot just trying to vibe, man. Why y'all
I
had
know,
to dip
right?
off like that?
Bro, we were like 10 years old. Bigfoot ain't trying to vibe, you know what I'm
trying to vibe
saying?
in the
dog?
hole.
My homie Boofy.
No,
He smelled the boof.
So there was one time. Sorry, it's not the creepiest, but it kind of goes with your story, Joe. I was sneaking out. I was like maybe 13 or 14, I was sneaking out to hang out with my friend, right? And his dog got loose, and this is a Great Dane, like similar to yours, but not as big. You know, it's not like
Scooby Doo
but,
dog.
But yeah, no, it did not like me, and it chased me around the whole block. But the thing is, like, no one was awake because this was at like 3 a.m. So if I got, I would have also gotten busted. So I was like, oh shit. So
you're worried about getting busted instead of being eaten alive by a Great Dane at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, dude, my dad's fucking scary. So
Bro, that's what we call high stakes, boys.
yeah,
You right?
I was going through. So our neighborhood, our backyards are connected, but not by fences. So I was just going through everyone's yard, just going through whatever. But yeah, no,
Great Danes are pretty creepy in itself too.
and huge.
Scooby Doo boys.
When you can't see them, you just hear this big.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of when it comes to creepy shit was that I was FaceTiming with this one chick once, and then right.
Oh,
He gets
okay.
puss, boys. He gets puss.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I was in the kitchen and like the only thing on in that kitchen was like the stove light, because you know how like there's stoves and like the light
Right.
light switch on top.
The hood thing.
Yeah, the hood and
Fucking hood, boy.
yeah. Back when I lived at the bar.
Wow, you
Yeah,
lived a whole boy.
Yeah, boy. El barrio. And then and I was just making a sandwich. This was like at midnight, I think.
Classic. The sandwich. The midnight sandwich.
You right.
You know what? I respect the play.
Hey. Yeah, so I was making a sandwich and all, and then like I had a setup where I was making a sandwich and I had like the cell phone position in front, so that way she could see what I was doing, I guess. I don't know why, but and that way I could see her as well while I'm making the sandwich. And then all of a sudden, like, cuz the light switch is right behind me across the kitchen, and I was home alone. Like my parents were like at a fucking like club or like at a fucking
They're living it up. They're saying, "Hey, Jorge,
I mean,
you
they're-
guys hit the
yeah,
house.
I
We're
mean,
fucking out.
I
It's
mean,
date
my-
night. Bring
Yeah,
out the
I
red
mean-
panties."
Yeah, my brothers weren't home. They were chilling with some other friends, and then I was home alone and shit. And then out of fucking nowhere, the kitchen lights turned the fuck on, and I turned around like a motherfucker, dude. That shit scared the fuck out of me.
That's some
Sounds
Gary
spooky, bro.
Dude, it was. I'm not kidding you, dude.
I'm not kidding, guys.
I'm not kidding you, dog.
All right, so mine is I used to. Well, I
Demon
still
door?
live in the same house.
Oh,
But,
Demon door?
okay,
Even
yes. So it's a
even
demon door.
Even the
story.
FaceTime chick freaked out because she could see the kitchen the kitchen light switch, and that shit flipped open for like no fucking reason.
Bruh.
That's a bro moment right
That's
there.
a bro
brothers.
moment. So mine. So basically, I had this door. It was my little cousin's door. It would always just randomly fucking close and open. And I was like 10 or 11, so I would think, okay, there's a ghost in this shit's haunted. This isn't like there's
Ghost
nothing
homie.
else that could possibly be
He's a
happening
ghost
right now.
homie.
This is a ghost. He's just trying to vibe in the door. So the door would randomly just open and close, and I would watch it. But later I realized it was literally just the fucking pressure when like the air turns on, or you shut another door in the house. The shit just opens and closes. I'm like, now I'm just like, okay, I'm a retard. Back then,
You suggested Za. This is all you're doing, by the way.
Joe just farted again.
Oh, I'm gonna fart.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
Also,
cool.
by the way, if you guys ever hear any banging on the table, it's
That's just
because
bubbling.
this table sucks, and we're just like barely putting shit on it. And
You know what?
Makes
It's
a loud noise.
Hey, boys, it's
Sounds
early.
like this.
It's early days. It's early days.
Through this, yeah, we're
It's
actually
tough out
trying-
here.
We're in the hustle, dog.
Yeah, this is all about that hustle, boys.
We're just trying to rekindle friendship. Is what's really going on here.
Honestly, yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
So now that we have that out of the way,
Heavy sign to the mic. Okay.
All right, well, see you guys next podcast.
All right, fine. I'll pose my question for you guys. Okay. What is the one characteristic that you define masculinity with? You can only you can only choose one.
You have to be able to fix shit around the house.
Well, that's not a characteristic. That's a trait.
Women can't fix anything. We already know this.
Well, no, I don't know. What do you mean by masculinity?
All girls are the same.
By masculinity, I'm like what is the one characteristic you value the most to be considered a man?
Big pee-pee.
Like,
Be able to just fix shit.
well, like I'm
On the
saying,
fly.
I was about to say that. I was like,
I'm
big
saying
dick
more along the
energy,
lines
dog. What do you
like
mean?
for
Big
me,
dick energy.
for me, the thing that defines masculinity is a.
Our roommate.
Connor just
usually
Oh well,
does.
okay, well,
Hey,
thanks, Connor.
everybody
What's
say
up, boyo?
say
What
goodbye
up,
to Connor.
dude?
We're about to have a police shootout. We just need to put the
Yeah,
covers
we
up.
need to
now.
be ready.
For those of you, who
Yeah,
don't know.
for the viewers at home, the couches are put up against the windows at the moment to make room for the shitty table that you can hear this on. So
Hey, it's all about the hustle, dog.
it is all about the hustle. Well, have a good one at work, bud.
Have a good one at work, bud. Goodbye, Connor.
This isn't weird at all. Just keep walking. Smile and wave. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyways,
Yeah, no.
Masculinity.
So like for me, the characteristic that I define masculinity with is doing things that are hard because it's morality essentially. Having a strong sense of morality and doing the right thing because it doesn't matter how easy or hard it is. It's just about doing the right thing regardless of
But
difficulty.
anybody should just kind of go off that. That's you're saying.
Well,
man
sure,
shit.
but
but like anybody should just follow that.
Well, sure, but like I think to be a man, like when you're put in a situation where you could easily lie your way out.
I think masculinity boils down to essentially acquiring the traits that make you the best father you can possibly be, because anybody can fix that. Anybody can have a moral compass. It's mainly about masculinity. When you think of a masculine figure, or when you think of masculine, you think of your dad, you think of your caretaker, and typically men live in a community. We associate roles with.
We live in a society.
We live in a society with
bro.
a hierarchy. Yeah, and essentially, you just want to be the best dad you can be, because the better dad you are, the better father you are, the better caretaker, the better handyman, the better whatever your specific role is.
The better man.
It's actually a
you
solid
actually
point.
fill the role. What you fill whatever role you can find yourself filling in the best way you can, because that's essentially doing your part.
That is
I
the
like
correct
that.
answer.
I like that. I didn't actually think of it that way. I
Yeah.
was thinking about
Yeah.
how it was like as an individual man, instead of it trying to be like the best, this specific character as in like a father. So
Yep.
you hear that, boys?
Well,
Don't
see-
imagine your children.
That's why I like to.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to propose that question though, because it shows kind of what we individually value as, men ourselves. Like what when we're building our own characters, what are we thinking about when we're thinking about our own masculinity?
Also value pussy as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hey!
Hell
all I
yeah,
gotta
brother.
say, there's 3.5 billion women up there, but why is my place still empty?
True.
on God,
Shit.
boys.
All women are thoughts, or all women are queens.
Hey boys, you
Can't
know what
have
they
it both
say.
ways.
You know what they say. Roses are red. Arby's has the meats. If her snap score over 1 million, she belongs to the streets.
Oh my god.
All right. So here we have this other thing. What would be the coolest or most interesting brand you would want to work with?
Oh,
If
hands
you could
down,
work with anyone.
Durex, 100%.
Durex.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, boys.
Yeah, boy.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want to
Not
steal. I
Durex,
don't want
not
to steal
Durex.
Jorge's.
I'm not gonna lie, that's Red Bull. Red Bull will be the
Red Bull will be
coolest
good.
thing. Mainly
No, dude.
because they treat their athletes, their any of their sponsors with like which
Is it Ninja
big
sponsored by
money.
Red Bull?
Yeah, Ninja is a lot of free running, a lot of skateboarding. But the thing is, like I grew up with skateboarding and stuff, and like skateboard brands were always cool, but like
Yeah.
Red Bull and Monster were always the coolest.
Being
because
sponsored by Bones.
they always took their they always took their people out and stuff, and like took them to like China and stuff like that, where it was like pretty cool to go. Is this a little ASMR going on
Yeah,
here?
a little bit of ASMR.
bet.
Plus, you could have a cool ass fridge. Have you seen the Red Bull and Monsters fridge they give
Yeah.
to people? It's just cool.
Can we-
someone
okay.
has that
Can we talk about something real quick?
Yeah.
The Summit vase incident.
So what happened? I watched the stream a lot, but I don't know
what?
what.
Took a bong rip.
Wait, the what?
Wait, really?
Yeah, he took a big.
Well,
bong
okay,
rip.
that was actually
Yeah.
after. So the original incident, right? He had left his bong out in frame of camera, and people were like fucking
Oh,
donoing
and
to
he
him,
said it was a vase.
and they're like, "Bro, that's a bong, lol bong," and then fucking he's like, "No, it's a vase," and then he makes a joke, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, it's a vase," and then he takes a rip out of it, and then Monster dropped him as a sponsor.
He forgot that.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he got dropped.
Now he's with G Fuel, I think. It's either G Fuel or
It's G Fuel.
Gamer Subs.
That's
yeah.
hilarious. Because he was like he was like, when I thought Monster sponsor, he was the first one that came to mind.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm like, I don't think they realize how bad they fucked up because
That's strange because Monster's like, for the edgy boys. You know
yeah,
what I
they're
mean?
an edgier brand.
For the
They-
for the Kyles and the Chads and the edgy.
Yeah.
When I think of anybody who drinks Monster, I think of like somebody who's a little bit on edge, and he
I
probably
think of
also
a frat
smokes,
boy.
who also probably smokes too. Like if you compare the kind of person that drinks Red Bull and the kind of person who drinks Monster, typically the Monster person is more edgy.
Yeah.
Typically I would go as far as to say that the people who drink Monster would be more aligned with doing drugs. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can see that.
that's a reach, but like,
That's a broad statement. I would say this. I would say
Yeah,
that
I mean, I worked at a gas station once, and I could say that the majority of people who bought Red Bulls were more like adults and like workers and shit. Whereas like the people who bought Monster more were sort of like, you know, like I said, Chad's, Kyle's, and like younger people.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
how saw it.
Energy.
I don't know. I definitely think that it's
I'm
very very silly of them
It's
to
kind of dumb. Sponsorships
to do
dropping
that.
people over the smallest things is kind of just stupid.
because it hurts their brand.
Because
is what it
honestly,
does,
like
yeah.
I
It
kind
depends
of
both ways.
I forget about a lot of companies like that, and then I'm watching a Summit stream, and he shouts out Monster, and he has it in the background. I'm like, oh yeah, Monster. And then sometimes that'll influence if I go and buy a Monster the next day or something.
Or like
that.
G Fuel, for example, right? Like we have tubs of G Fuel here, and I'm like,
Hell yeah.
I would never have bought G Fuel or like Huel, the fucking shit
Huel.
powder that I bought, right?
Huel.
Don't ever do Huel, kids.
Healthy boys,
It's bad
boo.
for your health.
Healthy
Makes you
boys.
fart.
It makes
a
your
lot.
fart smell like gasoline, by the
But
way,
do
like
you lose-
hard gasoline.
Hey, but do you lose weight?
No,
Oh,
it's a meal supplement. It's not for weight loss, and they very specifically say that
What
in
do you
all
buy
of
it for to save money?
no.
Or-
Well, actually, yes, it's
Shmoney.
$1.33 a meal.
save that shmoney. The
That's
green.
not bad.
That's like a ramen
If
thing.
you like eating like gray.
No, if you like drinking gray sludge, then
Gray
yes,
gray
buy
sludge.
Huel if you like gray sludge. But I mean, like you know, like there's certain products that social media marketing, but like especially with streamers, that works really really well. Like
Like what?
fuck, Panda Global, right? They're a sponsor of like Alpharad and a lot of these other kind of lesser known streamers. But the thing is, I would never have known about that brand if it wasn't for their streamers.
What?
He's a Smash streamer.
You've definitely seen his videos.
Or
You know,
Smash YouTuber.
You know
sorry,
the-
I thought you said Alpharad was like a product. What was the product again? Sorry.
Yeah, what was it?
Panda Global.
It's not a product. It's just it's a sponsorship company.
Yeah.
But what do they make?
Well, I think they actually do sell stuff. They have like a
I think Panda Global does like virtual. It's like desktop streaming
Oh.
stuff
okay.
stuff like that. And but I'm not sure if that's right. By the way, don't quote me. But I
Speaking
think
of Panda
that's what it
Global, this episode is sponsored by Panda Global. Just kidding.
is. Actually, speaking of that, we do have an ad break that we need to go ahead and.
we're gonna go
Roll.
ahead and jump to break right now.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is your one-stop shop for all your podcasting needs. Looking to listen to an up-and-coming podcast or start one of your own? Anchor's got it all. It's free, which is amazing for people starting a podcast. It has amazing guides on how to do things like linking your Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Podcast all into one sleek and beautiful website. And they make monetization easy by having advertisers come to you. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
And we're back.
All right.
Hey, we're back, boys.
All right. Well,
Yeah, boy.
thank God this is episode 1 and not 10.
Yeah,
'cause that was
episode 1, by the
the-
way.
that was
Don't
the
flame.
funnest ad break I've ever had in my life.
That was the best ad break of my life.
perfectly timed
We did
too.
vibe for a minute.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
slapped like
You
what?
guys weren't there to hear it.
How many tequila shots was that, guys? Like 8?
Jorge
I'd
drank
say-
all mine, so
What?
8 apiece?
Jorge drank all mine.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he's a fucking Kyle.
We actually
He
did ketamine on the
drank
break.
Oh my god.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, we did capital or what is it? Cereal K?
I don't know.
Special K?
Special K.
Cereal?
all. Can't do
Cereal
Yeah,
K?
I can get my fiber
I don't know,
in.
man. That ketamine really be kicking in right now. It's kind of hard to remember.
I really been vibing on
Okay,
ketamine.
Oreo.
Can't be so bad. Joe thought he was eating cereal.
Bro. Bro, is
this
this
is
water? Bro, that's fuck. Bro.
This is technically sort of like a reject, like frat boy house kind of thing. Vibe
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah,
I-
100%.
Absolutely.
I fuck with it. I
Yeah.
fuck with it hard because like frat boys are pretty much just the same way, except they're going to school, but who cares?
Yeah, no,
They,
right?
they still fuck shit up. They
I mean,
do
we
stupid
have
things.
currently like a 50% qualification. Two of us are in college. You're gonna enroll soon.
Yep.
So technically, this is a frat podcast.
Oh god.
So realistically, we could just change the
This is
name.
the part. This is the part where I head out.
All right. No, you're part of it. If you leave, then we're at like a 60% split. We don't
I'm
want.
gonna head out.
All right.
I'm a head out. Anyways, what's our next topic? What's the next role?
So we could talk about what guests we would have on the podcast if they were dead or alive. You could pick who you want.
Can we
One- one for
could-
each.
Can we say dead and alive?
Dead and alive.
Bro, what
Both.
do you mean?
One
Well,
dead
no,
and
actually,
one
one
alive.
dead, one alive.
One dead,
li-
one alive.
I'm living, but I'm dead inside.
Hey, exactly. Hey,
Nice.
you know what's the worst thing about running faster than the speed of light?
You live in
You
darkness.
always live in darkness.
Man, that's deep, dude. That's deep. That made me think. I
Sammy
pondered
Sonic
on
fan.
Hashtag,
Think, boy.
hashtag I'm 12 and this is deep.
Deep boys.
All right, so who wants to go first?
I'd say,
Oh, you can go. Sorry.
I'd say Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Marilyn.
absolutely.
Wait, why?
I honestly
Marilyn
don't know
Manson?
anything about
You would see
Marilyn
him-
Manson.
He's,
So I would probably watch it.
yeah.
I'd watch
Listen
it,
to it.
but it would
Marilyn
mainly.
Manson, he's just an interesting individual.
What would be your most anticipated or even first question?
Yeah, what
beforehand?
questions would you ask him?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, what would you ask him?
Would you encourage 12-year-olds to drink absinthe?
Drink what?
Absence.
the fuck is that?
Absinthe.
Is this before or after you load him up with
Deep.
courage juice
Oh,
or
both.
both?
I'll ask him
Courage
twice.
juice?
Courage juice like alcohol, you know how Joe Rogan he gives his guests like weed and
Yeah.
alcohol and stuff.
I'll ask
Is this
both
before or after
I'll
you
ask
loaded
both
them up?
because they're gonna be different answers. Or knowing Marilyn Manson, they might probably be the same answer.
Part one and part two. Part one sober and part two is when he's just like inebriated and
Just
gone.
fucking rolling.
Oh yeah. That I mean, I wonder if he still holds. No, he probably would. I was gonna say, does he still hold the same views about like people like? I mean, I'm still obviously gonna talk about him like if he's still being like, let's say, what's the word?
emo.
No,
Edgy?
not emo,
Edgy,
but
yeah.
A soy
like
boy.
being controversial about like how people blamed him for like the Columbine massacre and all that shit.
Oh,
What?
wait,
Wait,
what?
how?
Huh?
Wait,
How
what?
did people? Why did people blame him for that?
Because of his music.
How was there a correlation though?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
No,
did,
but
no,
like-
did they find proof that they were like listening to it before that or something?
Well, I mean, they blame him. They blame Eminem. They
They
blame a lot
blame,
of people.
they blame games.
like the parents and stuff
GTA.
from like the from like the
oh
victims.
really?
And all that. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Are
I
you
didn't
guys
even hear about this.
You guys want to talk about that argument? The fucking video game violence thing? Oh, shit.
No, we're
Oh,
not talking about that.
shit always gets me mad. I'm just like, that's stupid.
I wonder if that I was wondering if that's still going on with him right now. Probably not, but
Probably not. No,
Not-
I
no.
haven't heard of Marilyn Manson in the news in forever.
yeah.
Even during the Columbine, because I was a freshman.
I mean, at this point, he's pretty much just making music and vibing.
He be vibing, son.
he be vibing.
Bro,
Wait,
frog,
vibe
frog
check?
doing laundry?
Vibe
What?
check.
He be
Vibe
vibing?
check?
No.
Vibe check, guys.
Guys, how
check?
do you think that Gandhi would be an interesting podcast?
Hell no.
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 Hell no.
He'd just be
Gandhi
like,
would
Okay,
suck.
real quick.
He
Are we
wouldn't drink? He'd be like, can we just be homies, yo? And like,
are we making the assumption that all of these yes can speak proper English?
Oh, shit.
Because that's something that I think we haven't hit on.
Proper
It's like
English.
I should get a
like,
translator.
if you
Fuck
say it like you know, say for example, you use the
That's
J
a-
man,
that's a
use the
tough
J man, right?
Jesus Christ.
J man probably doesn't know how to speak English.
Oh yeah, because wasn't he Jewish?
no, actually he was.
I
yeah.
am completely
No, you're
ignorant
right.
to religion.
Yeah,
No,
he would
that's
speak
correct.
Hebrew.
Well, then
He
why'd
would
y'all
speak Hebrew.
laugh?
But he would speak Hebrew, not Jewish.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Jewish ain't a language, dog.
My
Sorry, sorry to be
Well,
that
kill
guy.
the
me,
thing
boys.
is, the thing is like we would just get a translator.
Can I go?
Then yeah, he.
Ancient Hebrew.
Yeah, there's just people who study it.
There are
Just like there's people who study the Bible.
Okay,
There's
no.
people who study any ancient religion.
for the metaphorical thing we're doing. No, it's just they speak English because we don't want to have a fucking translator. That's another microphone.
Well,
We got conversation
That
bullshit.
goes without being said. If we're having somebody on, of course I want to be able to have a conversation with them.
Well,
Like
I
I would
mean-
love to have Hitler on the podcast.
Say,
All right,
I would love
That sounds bad, but that would be interesting.
We're
Oh, yeah.
demonetized, boys. Let's go.
Everybody would watch that. Doesn't matter if you hate
Yeah.
him. You would have to check it out because he would have some interesting points on shit.
I want to know what the fuck he was doing with his test. I would want to know like
With his
what are
what?
with his test, like
do
his
you
test, what
Oh,
he was
his, like,
trying to
human
do with
experiments and shit?
with his human experiments. Because like I don't care if he got it or not. I just want to know what the fuck he was trying to do. Because like
I remember he was in the process of making an H bomb.
yeah, because like when you're
An
allowed.
H bomb
Hydrogen bomb?
is. Oh, I thought you were gonna say like hell. The hell.
The hell
Sends you
bomb.
straight to hell.
I mean, technically, it's what. He fucking
Yeah.
I mean, that must be what it feels like if you live. Your skin's like fucking burning off your body. I mean,
Jeez.
Damn, that was actually a good answer. Hitler would be interesting to have on the podcast.
Yeah.
But he'd be dead. But for my alive guy, you already know, boys.
Well,
Who's that?
I actually don't know. Probably like Snoop Dogg or something.
He's like,
Actually, no. Martha Stewart or no? What's the girl that he cooked with?
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart.
Martha
Yeah,
Stewart,
yeah. She
yeah.
went to fucking prison
Oh yeah.
for like a long ass time for tax fraud, and she like didn't say
She's a
anything. She was
hardened
like,
criminal.
yeah, no. She's like fucking crazy.
no, it was only
It was like an
it was
incredible
only
life.
like a year.
Really?
Yeah. No, because
Oh,
they
well, she's less cool now.
They,
Probably
they,
Gordon-
they make up a
Gordon Ramsay.
joke about this actually on Orange is the New
Roast.
Black. And one of the seasons, there's a character who is supposed to be Martha Stewart. They don't say Martha Stewart, but
Is
it's
it red?
it's a cooking book host.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah. I know
yeah,
what
it's a
you're talking
cooking
about.
lady. Yeah, there's and she
Oh,
comes-
that's what that was.
Exactly,
I didn't
yeah.
even catch that. I watched that show like 3 years ago.
yeah. I can't stand the new seasons. Everything
haven't
honestly,
watched
everything
it.
after 4 was just not fun to watch anymore. It's
I
like
never watched because I don't like females.
All right, GG boys.
Female roles.
no.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm
okay.
gonna cut that out. I'm just
okay.
gonna send that to Mitch. I don't like females.
oh boy.
Your boy be gay.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
She likes girls too, so
yeah,
it's all
boy.
good.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. It kind of hurts.
I think unarguably the probably one of the most interesting podcasts you can have is like Seth Rogen, fucking Jonah Hill, all those guys in one table. That would be sick, bro.
Matt, tell them what you told us yesterday
movie,
about Joe Rogan.
That's a really,
Seth
really
Rogen.
white thing to say, but like, fuck it.
No, I mean-
they're all funny.
So I watched
Like the movie, like This Is the End or some shit.
So
Yeah, like that whole cast basically.
Yeah.
yeah, those guys would be funny, but it'd only be funny if they like got along or wanted to do it. But
They're all
the thing is,
homies.
yeah, I mean
In
they
the
are.
real world.
So I watched this Netflix doc, right? It's called Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner. And apparently, episode 1, this guy goes to Vancouver and he meets, Seth Rogen.
Okay.
And wait, Seth Rogen, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. And apparently,
That was good.
the first thing they do when they land is they smoke
Classic.
They smoke a joint.
Classic.
And Seth,
They're
lightly puts in a small flex. Yeah, Snoop Dogg said, "I roll the best blunts on the planet."
You have to flex that if he says that.
Take it for what it's worth, but this is probably the best blunt you ever smoked in your life. Fuck with me. And just like drop
If
the
Snoop Dogg
mic.
tells you that, you can say that wherever you want,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
a dub.
Shit, that's like I feel like that should be a legal document actually. Like I feel like you should.
So would you say for a live person you would want Snoop Dogg
For a
as
live
well?
I'd fuck with Snoop Dogg. I'm not gonna lie about it.
For a live person,
fuck with the
that's
homie
actually
Snoop?
really tough because it really depends.
He's
Because
probably
like
killed people, bro.
Snoop Dogg, I doubt it.
No, he was trying. Or he had murder charges at one point.
Did he murder?
I think
They
he
never-
served
they-
time, bro.
They never went to court.
I would want somebody like nuts. Like honestly, Gordon Ramsay's an animal, like an absolute animal.
That would be fun.
Like Gordon Ramsay does a lot of stuff outside of just cooking,
Mhm.
but like I would love to have somebody like you, like I guess like if they're living, maybe some like crazy like fighter or somebody who's like done a lot of stuff. Like Michael Jordan would be cool because he went from basketball to baseball. And I think he did something else. Shaq would be nuts.
Shaq would be insane.
Oh,
He's-
dude, no.
Bro,
he
we'd
has a
have
lot
to
of-
get him a special chair.
He's like He's like multiple doctorates, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Pretty
he has
sure.
multiple doctorates. He does business. He owns most of like Papa John's and stuff.
He owns
and-
multiple Papa John's.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
locations. He's a big
Yeah.
like business guy. He makes more money now than when he was in the NBA.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's-
and then
that's honestly
who is it?
inspirational.
I think it's 50 Cent. He owns a bunch of Wingstops
Really?
or something.
What?
That's
This
hilarious.
is new.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never heard of
Yeah,
this
no,
shit.
it's either it's some rapper. He owns a bunch of those chains though. He owns like half of the company or something. It's some crazy shit.
I gotta look this up now.
Yeah, go ahead. But okay, I'm gonna give mine now.
Okay.
Cause I'm gonna fuck with all y'all, alive and dead, simultaneously.
Wait, what?
Tupac.
Bro.
My
boy's in Malaysia right now.
Pick for dead people, yeah.
That would actually be good.
And I was gonna say either him or Biggie.
You saying he?
I would want both, honestly.
That'd be good.
Both, yeah.
I would love to
Ooh,
just
that-
because
that's
like
pretty
I feel like they've had time to
controversial,
settle their beef if they're both dead. If we're talking like if we're saying with the metaphorical afterlife, they've had time to clear the beef.
so I'd probably also
So
He dabbed it up. in
like,
heaven.
speaking of other rappers, another one who would be interesting too is Eazy-E.
Ooh, yeah.
I
that'd
like
be good.
Easy.
You know,
Oh, wait,
the
no,
whole
I thought you meant
He's
NWA
probably
thing.
fucking killed people, bro.
How about we
Oh,
say
yeah, for
how about we
sure.
say we have one alive guest and then one dead guest? That would be
At the
really
same time?
interesting.
Actually,
Ice Cube and Easy.
You know what'd be
Yeah.
nuts? What's
Oh,
his name?
I was gonna say Dre, Dr. Dre, and
Dre?
Eazy-E.
Snoop and Tupac.
They were
No,
homies.
no.
Exactly.
No, because I've read about this before. It has to be Tupac and Will Smith, because Will Smith's wife, I forgot her name, like Jada or something. She was in a relationship with Tupac before Will Smith, yeah.
Damn.
And then I remember I saw something like on Facebook about Will Smith talking about it, and that he was actually gonna like have a conversation with Tupac, but before Tupac actually got murdered.
Damn.
Will Smith has decided like, yeah, I plan to have a conversation with him about like
getting
Jada
jiggy
and all
with the
that
knife.
before
Before he got ice.
he got iced, yeah.
So
Bro, I mean,
he dodged that bullet, huh?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Got his hands, Will Smith. I mean,
Will Smith would be good on the pod though. He's
Yeah.
a really interesting guy.
Yeah,
That's hot.
I think you mean viral YouTuber Will Smith. Have you guys ever seen that?
What?
Every
I mean,
time
I've
so-
seen his YouTube channel.
No. Every time somebody reads his name now in like if they're mentioning Will Smith, they're like
YouTuber.
multi-platform god Will Smith, and I'm like, agreed. The thing is, he doesn't make bad
Pretty much any
content,
big
man.
actor that's liked a lot can just pop a YouTube channel off and post bullshit.
Honestly-
and then like Jack Black for example.
Oh yeah, by
No,
the way,
nobody said it.
Yeah,
The
actually,
Rock.
I'm-
I think The Rock would be a really solid guest because I feel like he's got some interesting stuff. Also,
Yeah.
But I feel like he'd be too busy to get on a podcast, honestly, because he seems like somebody who
No
never
way,
stops grinding, dude.
They can make time. Like if Elon Musk can make time for a couple of podcasts,
Elon
he's
Musk
probably
is
one of the
probably
busiest
busy.
guys.
I was watching the Chris Rock and Joe Rogan podcast, right? And he was talking about it, and because he asked, because or not Chris Rock, the short guy, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he was talking with Kevin Hart, and
I think I watched the same one.
yeah, and he was saying, he was talking about how can you guys keep up that level of like grind, like how can you guys
Joe
keep up
asked
with
that?
that hustle, yeah, and he's like, I mean, I schedule everything. I'm a religious scheduler, but they were talking and they're like, even fucking Kevin Hart was like, I don't know how The Rock does what he does because he's just constantly like one day he's in Paris, next day he's in Japan.
Yeah.
He's lifting
Flying
weights
all
the whole
over.
time. He's got the institution iron behind him.
Oh
just,
yeah, he gets that. He has like a travel gym. Like he has like a crew that brings a gym everywhere he goes.
Yeah, dude, he
Yeah.
straight
On
up
every
eats
set.
9,000 calories every day.
I follow him on Instagram. He always posts like these massive ass cookies that he makes and these pancakes and all this shit that he has.
yeah, and dude, just look at his form, like his figure. How the fuck do you maintain
One
that
paper
mass?
cut, he's dead, bro.
Oh, dude, no, dude. I always mention this, but like, if y'all seen the movie Doom, The Rock and the Doom compared to him now
Wait,
is
wait,
fucking.
Oh yeah,
tiny.
yeah. I watched
haven't
it
seen it.
recently.
See the Pebble?
It's awful.
Huh?
Sorry,
Is he the Pebble?
He's tiny, dude. In Doom, he's tiny.
it's awful. By the way, don't watch it. It's
The
on
first
Doom
Netflix.
is pretty fun.
I thought it was good.
Doom Annihilation,
Oh, the new one? No, it sucks.
the one with The Rock. It's bad.
No, that's the first one.
I'm telling you, it's bad.
I've seen it too. I thought like it's not a good
We
movie
can
by
have-
any
we can
point,
have
but I thought it was fun.
different-
You're wrong, and that's okay. you have
You're
the
wrong, and that's just how
you have the
that's
wrong
how it is.
opinion. I'm sorry to tell you, buddy.
Don't worry, alright. No, you're completely
But
valid.
you wanna talk about-
It's a good movie.
You want
It's
to talk about a really good
Thank you.
movie, Mayhem. We can both agree Mayhem was pretty fucking good.
I haven't
That's
seen it.
actually.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mayhem, the one with that one guy who gets iced. And
Glenn from The Walking Dead.
yeah, the guy.
Oh really?
I don't know his
yeah,
actual
the one
name.
Who gets iced by Negan in The Walking Dead?
Yeah,
It was okay.
Huh?
It was alright.
it's good.
It was pretty.
Shut
cool.
up, Matt.
It was alright. I mean,
All right.
It was pretty cool.
Again, you have the wrong opinion, and that's okay. So I want to talk about this because I haven't got a chance to talk about it.
I didn't even get to mention.
There's a Amazon Prime
about it.
show called Upload. It's new. It's got I don't forget the actor's name. He's like
a show or a movie?
He looks. It's a TV show. It's like 10 episodes long. The premise of it is when you die, or like when you're about to die, right?
You were thinking about an upgrade, I think.
When you die,
Good
you go
movie, by the
into a hospital, right? And if you're like about to die, like about to pass off, you have two options. You can either die normally, like naturally, or you can be uploaded, which is like essentially they upload your consciousness into a VR world.
So it's altered carbon.
No, because the prospect of the show, it like
you turn into a fucking Tamagotchi, pretty much.
So they put you in like a fake heaven, like a VR.
they
virtual
put you in
reality?
whatever.
Pretty much what it is.
So like the one that the show, the majority of it takes place in, it's called Lakeview, and it's like supposed to be like the rich one, right? The super
Oh, okay.
rich
So
wealthy
you
people's
pay,
one.
pay more.
Exactly. You pay more for the heaven you get to receive, right?
Okay.
And there's like the kind of the grandiose theme of the whole thing is like, when I die, am I still myself when I get uploaded, or am I just a reproduction of my own consciousness?
That actually sounds interesting.
It's super interesting. I highly
Is it a good
recommend
watch?
watching it. Yeah, it's definitely a good watch. I watched the whole thing in a day. It's fantastic. It's only 10 episodes. It's not super long. It's like 5 hours.
10 episodes in a day?
It's like 5 hours.
An hour each,
okay.
or no, like
30 minutes each. It might be an hour each. If it's an hour each, I mean, just spread it over a couple. But it's good. I mean, I highly recommend it. I went into it with very little expectation because I'm like, I just saw it was new. It's like, yeah, give it a try. Very
Are you
good.
over there?
I'm burping.
My man burping.
Bro,
My man
can't-
looking like
He's
having
got
a
gas in
seizure
his
over there.
stomach.
bro, I can't eat cheese. My butt is like
The cheese.
open, and then my mouth is just like. "Bleh."
He's at 3 a.m. looking for that cheese.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no, not
Where the
again.
cheese?
We're not
Where
doing
the
that again.
cheese at?
That's gonna be the first thing
Oh,
that goes
yeah.
on our Instagram. Is just like me crying and eating cheese.
Are we allowed to tell like horror stories like that, like with like substance abuse and stuff like that?
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Sure, go
absolutely.
ahead.
Oh yeah. So
I mean, as
I was
long
gonna
as
say,
as long as you're okay with somebody hearing it.
Yeah, because that's your name's associated with it.
Because the thing is, I personally don't care. My parents know what I do,
oh.
and it's
Well, my
not
parents
a-
don't. So
Man,
this
what's
would
the
be
worst
fun.
thing you've done?
Huh?
I'm just kidding. Like,
Oh well,
by
there's
the way-
there's certain things we're not going to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna
By the way-
directly. I'm never gonna directly tell my parents this.
By the way, the rapper who owns a lot of Wingstops is Rick Ross.
Rick Ross, yeah. Sorry,
Is it Rick
Ross.
Ross?
I would have
That's
forgotten.
That's probably a solid passive income gig right there.
It's not. It's not passive, dog. He like.
Well, no, doesn't he just shell money out and?
Bro, he runs shit.
Ricky Rose.
Yeah, he like goes to. He's like a manager pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet you he is an outsourced manager. But like whenever he's in town,
he probably pays someone to do that. He probably just doesn't.
Well, I was watching a docu on it, and he would like actually go to the stores and like go in and see.
Yeah, I haven't seen all that. So
Does he get free food and shit?
he owns the building.
I mean,
hey, actually, no.
Free food at a Wingstop.
That's a valid
personal chef problem.
That's a valid question because Elon Musk pays full price for his Teslas.
Well, that's just it depends on how you want to run your shit. Because Elon Musk could easily get a free one if he wanted.
Yeah, I know.
But he doesn't.
But he chooses not to because he's a good guy.
Well, the thing is, it's still gonna cost him money.
Elon Musk got a lot
Like,
of
he got it for quote unquote free.
It's gonna cost him money, but that
be
money's made back instantly.
Well, it'd be a heavy reduction.
Like he's basically giving himself money.
Billionaires make so much like a minute that it just doesn't matter.
I just want a billionaire to sponsor the podcast. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. If you guys are watching, you could go ahead and
Elon Musky boy.
like literally what you guys make in 1 minute is what we make in a year. You could help some brothers out. You know how I'm
Elon
saying?
Musky boy, please listen.
Our PayPal is open for donations.
Yeah, I'll drop you my Venmo.
Yeah. My Venmo is actually at x_x_x_re. You can just
Venmo,
hit me
dude,
there.
I was just saying this earlier, but like in the future, dude, people are gonna be bugging each other using Venmo.
Oh yeah. Someone's gonna pull up on you at a gas station with a knife and be like, "Hey, bro, Venmo me your whole bank account, or I'm gonna slice your shit."
My phone's cracked. I can't type.
I can't get in, bro.
I just got carded. No way.
Open your Wells Fargo account. How much money you got? Give me it all. Venmo me now.
No worries. I got Square.
Oh no.
Swipe your credit card,
Bro, if I got robbed by somebody using a Square, because it just goes into a headphone jack, he just walks up to it, slaps it in your phone, give me all your money, later nerd, and then dip sets. That'd be fucking fantastic.
I'd kill myself.
That'd be an expert level thief right there, dude.
No worries, I got Square. How accommodating.
I can see that being
what a
the
nice
future, though.
thief.
Offers you a bottle of water.
Hey, I know this is tough for you, but I want you to know this is just as bad for you as it is for me.
I just want to let you know that I really do care about you, and I'm sad that you're having to make this decision. But
you should have been walking the streets so late at night. You're lucky it didn't take your life, kid.
All right. Speaking of getting mugged and shit, I have another question for the boys.
Okay.
So, have you guys ever been in a situation where you were fearing for your life?
Yes.
Like where
every time I get in a car with you,
every day.
Where where you felt like somebody was gonna fuck with you or try to rob you or break.
I worked at a gas station, dude.
Did that happen? Ever?
I work nights at a hotel.
Someone actually tried to steal in the gas station. Yeah,
Really?
like not legit. Like, oh, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna reach the freezer.
Are you instructed to chase people if they steal shit?
No, but like this gas station was so ghetto and all that stuff. Like the manager is not really there.
Yeah. So
that makes it
so
ghetto.
did you ever get like?
I mean, this was at like the ghetto side of town. I mean, over there, like east. Like, am I allowed to say where we're at or something?
I wouldn't say location just yet.
Just
okay,
say
it's over there.
I mean,
over there, like the ghetto side of town.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. I mean, just remember, anything you say is your own liability.
Yeah.
Like, if I say something,
we don't want our town.
Yeah. Okay.
We've already said we live in Texas.
It's on the
We
ghetto
live
side
in
of town.
Texas in a college town.
It's on the ghetto side of town.
Ghetto side of town.
And like there was this one guy who like literally went inside the freezer. And I was in the office doing something, and like this. Like,
were you there alone?
No, I was with a coworker.
Okay.
And so he went inside the off. He didn't go inside the office. He went inside the freezer and literally tried like to steal like an entire rack of like I think Powerades or some shit. Like that. No, like I'm not kidding.
It was a soccer coach, bro. He was up for this fucking team.
No. Oh man.
I put
and,
my
like,
team on.
He basically just tried to steal a lot of products, and then like my coworker, I think she was in the cash register or mopping the floors at the time. This was like at like 10 or something at night.
Okay.
And then like she catches him, and then like she chases him around like not the store, but like we're also connected to like a laundry room.
Okay.
And so like
she chased him?
No, like she didn't chase him as in like ran like bolted towards him. No, she was like, hey, what are you doing? And then like he goes around the laundry room, and then for some reason he didn't leave. Instead, he went and hid into like a supply room, like the janitor's room and shit like that, where we have like cleaning shit and like paper towels and like fucking toilet paper and shit like that. He went and hid there, and then my coworker at the time, she like She told me it was like, hey, I think there's a guy stealing, and I think he went inside the supply room. Can you go check? I'm like,
Fuck that shit, bro.
okay. I was like,
I feel like the play is just to wait him
That
out.
bitch got you all fucked up.
No. Okay, like,
You pitch your
okay.
hand behind it.
Fuck. You
It's
gonna
a fire.
start?
I was like, okay. And then like, I opened the supply room and all that, right? And it was all like black, and it was like darkness. And then I turned it back on, and I can see. I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, nothing. And then like, I look on the other side of the door. That motherfucker's standing right there, just still looking at me.
Oh my god.
And
Fuck
like,
that.
and like, oh my bad. I think I bumped my mic. by
That's
accident.
fine.
And then like, I saw it, and then like, it was just 1 second. It was just awkward silence. But you know, like when you're so like when
You
you're
were like face to face right in front of him.
yeah, no, like no low key. I was like the
Fear for your
distance the distance from me to you. That's how far we were.
So like 2 to 3 feet.
Yeah, and like cause you know that pause where it like you know when you're just so frightened you get like that feeling of just like pausing.
Just freeze.
Yeah, I froze for a sec, and then I'm like, I instantly shut the door and held it there.
Really?
Because there's no windows or anything.
So
in
wait,
the
he
supply
can get
room.
out except for that door.
No, we were in a fucking tug of war.
Oh, he was trying to open it?
Yeah, he was trying to like forcefully open
Holy
it. But like the
shit.
thing is, it's not it's a door that you have to like grab, hold shut. Like
Yeah.
you have to pull it shut.
Yeah.
And like I told her straight up because like she was Spanish and all that shit. And like I told her straight up like call the fucking police in Spanish. Like I told her and all that. And like it was hard. This guy was tough. And like I put my foot on the door frame and I held it there
Holy shit.
for like 5-10
This
minutes.
is way more
until-
intense than I thought it was gonna be.
no, dude, this
shit.
this was fucking crazy, and like it was that fucking difficult. And then the cops came, and then they told him it's like through the door is like the commands like go get on the ground now. But and like I guess like as the
Took him
cops
out in cuffs
like
or what?
yeah, and like I'm pretty sure as he heard the cops like I didn't feel any like resistance or anything from the door, and like he just got on the floor and all that jazz. Yeah, no, that was a terrifying night.
Damn, that's
Wow.
way
I-
better.
yeah, dude, I
That's
was
way better than what I was
yeah,
gonna
dude.
say.
Hey.
I was so scared that I was legitimately pissed off on everyone.
Damn.
Like
You're
I
pissed off?
like and then like the manager showed up for some fucking reason, and then I was just so pissed off, and then I was like, what are you doing here and all that jazz, and I told him call the night guy, I'm getting out of here.
Damn.
Calling like I'm out.
So I actually have 2 of these.
Okay.
So the first one's pretty
Go.
short. So every time May comes around, right, I get this thing in the mail. It's called a W-2 form. And then the government legally robs me.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's that one.
Oh boy.
Let's go. Okay, anyways, I got that one out of the way. Taxation is legal robbery, if you are unaware of that. And also,
yeah, I was
we
gonna
live in a society. Okay, go ahead.
Society, dog. By the way, that's the reason why I have a tiny bit of PTSD from opening doors. I always check the
The
other
corner
side.
behind.
Yeah, I always check the corner behind for some fucking reason.
I'm PTSD about opening
What-
doors.
What was your other
Dude,
one?
that would suck.
So one day, right, to give a little context, I work nights at a hotel, so it's not uncommon for me to deal with people at weird hours, which it immediately makes them kind of sketchy. Like, that's just what it is. But I had...
Anything at night is 10 times sketchier.
It is, well, because there's nobody around. That's what's really sketchy.
Solo
Because
and it's night.
yeah, it's just me dealing with whatever situation arises. So I, like my job is to open the door for people when they come up and greet them and do my job. So I go up and I see this guy and he looks a little weird. I'm like, something's up. He's probably homeless. He was homeless,
Okay.
absolutely.
Confirmed.
But I open the door and I go, hey, what do you need? Because I figured that he was going to be homeless and just try to get something real quick and dip out. And I was like, okay, whatever. What can I help you with? He's like, I just need a piece of paper and a pen. I'm like, all right, cool. I got you, man. So I go to like close the door to go walk off and grab a pen. And he fucking sticks his foot in and walks in the building. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an event. I'm aware. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He's not doing anything threatening yet. So I go to give the guy the pen and paper, and he starts reaching behind him. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm about to get robbed.
GG, boy.
And don't get me wrong. I have a preconceived notion when I meet people at night that I'm going to get robbed. It's just what I think. Like, it's just how I natty work.
He's rushing B.
So, so he's sitting there, and dude, he was digging in his back pocket forever, dude. Like a copious amount of time. Like
Man
it
was just tucking in his shirt.
it
so-
felt no, he wasn't, because he was like doing he was like kept like pulling up.
Oh,
Like, he was
really?
pulling something out, and I'm
Scratching
like,
his asshole.
and I was like sitting there looking at him, and I'm like, are you gonna
This guy-
like
this
I
guy
was
really
really
cheap.
tempted to just be like, are you gonna rob me? Because if that's the case, then I'll just give you the shit in the red. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, I'm not getting shot or stabbed. Sorry, I'll Venmo you all my money. But it's just like,
You got Square?
yeah, it's like,
What, you got Cash App?
you take
I
card.
don't have Venmo. I have. Yeah, I was gonna say that shit's a cash.
Do you guys accept Visa?
Or Zelle?
Hey, you pay him on PayPal.
You
You
know.
charge that shit back.
See, he thought he was robbing me, but in reality.
All right. So he's reaching.
Oh,
his,
anyway, so I'm
no
sitting there. I'm
Discord.
like, I'm going to get robbed. Like, this is my brain, being irrational. Because
getting-
realistically,
I'm
he's
getting
done
sent to
nothing
the
to
Gulag,
provoke me
boys.
to think I'm gonna get robbed.
Can't be getting sent to the gulag
Bro, I'd win the gulag.
every time.
Stay
All right.
drip to the feet. Anyways,
sorry.
so
I'm sorry.
That was good.
I'm sitting there and I give him the pen and then he fucking sits down in the lobby and I'm like, by the way, he smelled like sewage.
Oh, I thought I was gonna
I don't like
say boof.
I don't like. Oh, I wish. I don't like talking shit about the way people smell. Yeah, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, how do I deal with this situation? I'm like, maybe if I wait long enough, he'll just leave.
Oh.
So I wait like a good 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, that chair's gonna be stained with that sewage scent, and I'm like, I need to get him out of here. So I fucking
He was just sitting on, just writing shit.
yeah. He was just sitting in a chair, just like it looked like he was trying to take a nap. And
Oh.
So
I
he
got
had
to the
pen and
point.
paper. Was he writing?
No, he put the pen and paper up. I
Just
think
sitting there.
I
He was
literally
writing
think he
straight
was just
bars,
trying to
dog.
come inside. So I was like, okay. So
He was
I
writing
go over
bars.
to him. I'm like, hey man, you need to get out of here, or like now,
My
like
man,
you need to
he's-
leave.
My man, I'm sorry to say this.
And he's
dog,
sitting there and
you
he's like,
smell straight
procra-
musty.
Well, he
My man, you need some deodorant. You need some, son?
You need a bath, homie.
he goes, okay, yeah, I'll bug out, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm sitting behind the desk and I'm waiting like a minute. He's not moving, and I'm like, this is about to be a situation. Like I can kind of
When you approached him, was he just sitting there?
yeah. He was just sitting in the chair, just like
Oh,
for the audience.
Oh,
who-
like napping. Kind
Yeah,
of.
like
in a napping position,
yeah.
chin down.
Yeah, chin
Yeah.
down, just kind of chilling. And I'm like, I normally I wouldn't have a problem with people chilling. Like I've had homeless people come in before, and I had chicken nuggies, and
Yeah.
I gave him some of my chicken nuggies because I was
Yeah.
like,
Wait, you gave that dude chicken nuggets?
no,
Other
no.
people?
I've had another homeless guy come in, and he was like, I could tell he was struggling, and I was like, yeah, and it was like, I think it was like 30 outside. It was cold as shit. Like I was I felt real bad for the guy. So I was like, I let him
30
in.
in Texas is cold as shit, by the way.
Yeah. Like everywhere else in the country, not so much here. Yeah.
You're
Um,
right.
But I felt bad for the guy, so I let him in. But no, the homeless guy who I thought was gonna rob me, he finally gets up, but he's like groaning and shit that I'm making him leave. And I was so tempted to be like, you need to leave and never come back. And if you come back again, I'm calling the cops and just have him raw.
Damn.
Because-
Damn, dude.
Well, can someone just legally pull up in there and sit and just be there?
It's private property. If I ask you to leave and you don't, you're now trespassing.
Oh, okay.
So I could just be like, I mean, but the thing is, like, don't get me wrong. I try to avoid confrontation at work. I'm not
Right.
trying to fight somebody if I don't have to. Now, if somebody wants to throw hands,
My God.
You won't do shit.
by God, it might happen. But for the most part, I do try to narrowly avoid death every day. It is
That
it is
would
the
be optimal for
it-
your health.
it is indeed the human condition. I know. I'm very well
Feel the
aware.
hand of God.
Yeah, that's what Connor felt when I slapped him. The hand of God. Because he kept saying it was giving him moments of clarity when I'd slap him. So I was just slapping the sense back into him. Oh, it was beautiful.
It seemed like that at the gas station.
But it didn't seem like that to me either. But yeah, no, I have a ton of stories that are like real sketchy at my workplace. He did eventually leave, but like I was literally like, okay, I'm gonna count to 10, and if he's not out the door in 10 seconds, I'm gonna throw him out because I'm like,
Joe is almost 7 foot, by the way. The guy talking.
yeah, I'm actually
If you guys
six.
don't know.
I'm actually 6'9". Nice.
6'9"?
Yeah, I can actually dunk from half court without jumping. That's crazy.
Yeah, Joe's a big dude, so it's pretty intimidating if he's like yelling at you to leave.
Yeah, I try very hard not to raise my voice or intimidate people, but occasionally.
get out.
Get the fuck out!
You got a baby face, so.
I do,
he's got
yeah.
a massive baby face.
So I throw mixed signals at people. That's what I call my left and right hand mixed signals. Anyways, anybody got any more? Rob, he dropped M&Ms on the tables, boys. It's all over. That's a Fat G's podcast over, boys. He's blowing him off, dude. Roll the dice, dude. Roll the dice.
Fuck it.
No, it's not, by the way. The table's not clean.
no,
the
this
story
table's
was-
been
it
sitting
was-
in the bathroom for like who knows how long.
Yeah, for like 6 to 8 months, dude. Anyways,
I mean, it's been chilling.
shooting, bro.
This table be chilling though.
You have worse things to worry about at this
I have
time. At this
I
time.
have stories, but I just can't really like recall any right now.
I mean, you worked at Canes.
I worked at Canes. Canes wasn't bad. I never did anything overnight.
I have
But,
a short one.
I also went to Vegas, but I never did.
What about that story at RDM Bros when you almost got killed by someone who was in the Marines?
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh shit.
well,
I'm a U.S. Marine. Respect me.
Oh yeah, I mean it wasn't too bad. It was a misunderstanding, but I got out. This was my first job out of high school, and I got my dream job. I was working as a editor, and I made a comment. I was working for a customer, and I had made a inappropriate comment about the way they sounded, and my coworker.
To his face, you did that?
No, not to his face, but like I was editing his video, and I was like, "Yo, this guy sounds, really like blah." And
Okay.
my coworker took offense to that, but he said it in a way in which like he's jokingly playing serious. You know what I mean? Like you know how when people play around like, "Hey, stop that," you know what I mean? Where they're doing that. I thought he was doing that, but he said, "Hey man, get out! Like you're being a dummy or whatever," you know. And he wasn't kidding. He said it one more time. He said, "I fucking mean it."
Was this your superior?
No, just my coworker.
Okay.
And he stood up and grabbed his headphones, slammed them on the table, and broke. And I was like,
Damn.
"This is not a bit anymore, guys."
So was your coworker the Marine?
Yeah.
The ex-Marine?
Yeah. The ex-Marine. So I stood up. I'm like, "All right, I'll get out of here."
It's like, I'm
I was
about to get my neck broke.
I was like-
I'm gonna head out.
I was like, "All right, I'm gonna head out." But the thing was like,
disconnect your neck bone, boy.
well, the thing was, this was
That's
like
hard
this was
disconnect,
my
more like a
first-
Lego.
This was like my first week, and I've heard nothing but like horror stories about him. Saying he's seeing, I just hearing
killed
about
13
how
children.
hard he is and how fucking crazy he is. Yeah.
In Afghanistan.
So I'm like, I'm this like 18-year-old kid who's like, oh yeah, I'm tough, but like this fucking ex-Marine who has literally. Who has actual shrapnel damage from a grenade on his face is like telling me to
confirmed kills.
yeah, and he's fucking nuts. But the thing is, like, apparently
He looks like he looks like Michael B. Jordan from Black Panther with all the dots. That's
Oh
the
my
people
God.
he's killed.
Holy shit.
He has 5.9 KD.
But yeah, no, I wasn't really afraid for my life. It was just more so I'm 5'11" and he's like 5'2". So I mean, I wasn't like fearful for my life. I was just more so like I really like this job and I'm uncomfortable and don't really know what exactly is going on.
I pictured like a fucking 7 foot tall. Like,
Yeah, that's what I
like
thought.
beef
Like,
no,
boy.
no,
6'2".
he's a muscular. He could probably take me at that time. He could probably
Easily.
take me then.
He's got like training, bro.
I just told my
Yeah.
boss, and then we had this 30-minute long company-wide meeting about our policies on inclusivity and how we don't shame people for the way they live and stuff or sound or whatever. And we had this weird moment where we cried. It was fucking dumb, but I
you
wasn't afraid for my
cried?
life. No, yeah, because like
What a pussy.
no, it was so awkward because no, deadass. They made us. Okay, so
I would have laughed at that.
well, the thing was like, it was so weird because like this is my first week at my dream job and I'm getting berated because I made a silly like high school boy comment, you know, and then they make us talk it out in front of everybody in the company, and he's like, yeah, I had a best friend who died and he believed in this. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you. I'm like, dude, I just didn't fucking.
I guess
know.
he didn't beat the gulag.
Oh no, dude. Oh no.
He didn't clutch it.
Rest in peace, homeboy didn't clutch up, dude.
So mine. I
That
have,
was horrible.
He didn't beat
I
the
have a
gulag.
spooky story about something like this, but it's not as interesting as y'all's. But I'll try to make it suspenseful.
Got that spoopy.
So I was in our downtown picking up pizza for my family, and I had the pizza in my hand, and I was walking to my car, which is in a sketchy part of downtown. Our downtown area at night, there's like parts of it that are pretty sus.
Yeah, a little sus.
I was about to
Pretty
ask.
sus.
I was
And
about
that-
to ask whether it was at night or something.
It was at night. It was like 9 p.m.
Oh,
And
that's
there was no.
early. That's early.
It's
still,
early,
too.
but it was dark.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so I was walking, and there were no lights, and I was walking to my car with a pizza box, and there was this dude, this skinny dude, and he was on the other side of the street, and I saw him. He was like looking around, and when people are looking around, that's kind of sus already. And there was no people around. There was no cars driving by. There was just empty streets, and it was dark. walking to my car. I was really close, and he started like power walking towards me, and I was
Oh,
like,
boy.
"What the fuck's going on? Why is this guy?" And I started trying to get to my car, trying to get it unlocked, and he was walking really fast towards me, like looking around and shit. And I was like, "Oh god."
Yeah, dude.
I was like, "I'm about to get fucking got, bro."
My man finna get mugged.
Dude, so I have a knife on me, like pretty much at all times. So I'm I felt a little bit safe, but still, I don't want to fucking have to stab somebody.
Yeah.
So I was walking towards my car, and if I was any later to my car, he might have actually tried to fuck with me because like I got into my car and he pretty much like just walked around my car and like sat on a bench that was on the opposite side of my car, and I was like, if my car wasn't right here, I think that was GG, bro. My pizza would have been gone, which is fucking. Come on, bro.
That would have been GG.
My GG, my pizza's gone.
Now, at that
Boy,
point,
took my pizza.
at that point, you just give. That's a mission failed. We'll get them next
Yeah,
time, dude.
My family had to starve that night, bro. No, I feel like if I wouldn't have gotten my car, like I like slammed the pizza on my door trying to get the shit unlocked because I don't have a key fob. I had to fucking put it in there, and so I like
Sure,
struggled
I'll
to put
take
it
it.
in there. Okay, they're taking shots now.
Yeah, Matt's refusing his shot, and I'm taking
I
it for
smelled
him.
it and I was like, oh, I don't think I want to do this right now.
Oh
No-
god.
no,
Sink
yeah.
that shot. Sink that shot. Come on, you got
Is this
this.
more than a shot?
So you wanted
No,
us all to
it-
chant there,
it-
but nobody
it's
joined.
one
us.
shot.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
Yeah, I know, right?
So we had
Loser.
this shot glass.
It's coming from the guy who's sitting there scratching his balls right now on a microphone.
Yeah, I'm fucking scratching my
bro.
balls.
Loser,
We're not videoing
loser.
it.
We're not videoing
Show
yet.
my masculinity. I'll make you smell
No,
it.
but yeah, I almost got.
I'll pull my balls out right now.
I'll
There
make
ain't
you
nothing
smell
stop me.
I'm gonna make you smell, and you'll still like it.
Bro, you probably lick your own nut cheese, gay boy.
Is this a
Fucking gross, dude. That made me fucking.
Yeah, exactly. No, hit the shot. Come on.
No, you're right.
Cleanse your soul, brother. Cleanse your soul. We,
speaking of ad breaks,
I mean, we could.
No, we already did. We already did take an ad break though,
I
guys.
think that was the last one.
No, that was this one.
We had a recording that got deleted. Sorry, if that doesn't make sense to
no,
anybody.
our
We had technical difficulties.
It definitely did because we were talking about branding and you were talking about the monster deal and like speaking of ads.
Oh,
yeah, we did do that.
no, it was
Yeah.
me. It was me who called that one because it was
Okay, so we're
awkward.
good.
Yeah, so we're solid.
We
Yeah,
Gucci.
I saved you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
What's the next topic? What do we
I
got?
mean, we could run a second ad break, which would be funny. Oh,
Let's
and
not.
real quick comment about robbery.
It's not
It's
legal.
not funny.
It's
I
not
mean,
legal.
actually, that's not true. Legal robbery again, taxes, brother.
It's
Don't get
not
shit
funny,
twisted.
but it's pretty cash money.
Okay, no, like there's this common misconception that just because you're a big man's, you're not gonna get robbed. The gun is the great equalizer when it comes to everything.
all that time in the gym doesn't mean shit if someone's got a gun.
Yeah, you could be a 40-year fucking martial arts master and a baby with a shotgun win.
a little shooty stick fucking defeats all those years.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's the
literally,
samurai.
Yeah, I was
You
about to say, you want to see a
literally-
good historical example? Look at the samurai.
you literally spent 40 years in the gym just to get taken out by some scrawny with a gun.
No, that's how I feel every time I hear somebody like what was it?
Green Gang.
No,
Green Gang.
there was some dumb shit. It was like you really went all these years to die of a heart
People were
attack
gonna
because you
interpret that
nutted
real
62
badly.
times in a row. Because
Bruh.
there was because did you guys not see that? It was like
World record?
man dies after master
record.
or coming 63 times, and everybody's like the limit is 62.
Let's go, boy. I can get like 2 to 3 max in like a day.
Like I just want to see what's on his
24 hours, fuck
tombstone.
that.
You think on his
that.
tombstone
I
is
could probably go more, but
Dead
I
ass.
feel unsafe after that.
Somebody sitting here has the record for this table.
Has a what?
I mean that's just a fact.
Has the record for this table, but I know who it is.
A record for what? In 24 hours?
It's not you, Joe.
In one day,
Oh, it's him.
It's Jorge.
it's me.
Oh, fuck.
I think the most I ever did was like 5.
The most-
Fuck that.
At a certain point, you're just shooting blanks and it's not even fun.
Shooting blanks.
You're doing it because you're bored.
yeah, the most I've ever done was like 10.
Your dick
Oh.
coughs. Your dick coughs.
And like, is that?
Yeah,
like
I
a
know that's what it
couple
feels
hours?
like. It feels like your dick
This
has
is
dry
throughout the
cough.
day. Like,
Were you just
from,
wait?
like,
When did you
morning
stop
to, like,
shooting?
night. Huh?
When did you stop shooting?
Oh,
Like
I
when,
don't fucking remember.
it was all a blur.
all I remember was that I passed out on the last one. I passed out on the bathroom floor.
On the bathroom
weren't you doing your anorexia at the time?
Was
this
I think
post?
this was
Not to put
this is
you-
post.
Not to put you on the spot, but
What?
no, never mind.
Oh, like well, like one day
Yeah, 'cause you just
one day we should talk about that. Like you should actually tell us your
Oh,
experience.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's save that for a
we'll
later
save
part.
that for another time. You'll hear it
'Cause we're
if you
currently
stay
running-
tuned. You'll be able to hear my anorexia story. But
Because currently we're running at 15 minutes. If you guys were wondering,
15
yeah.
minutes?
so we're pretty
We're running at what?
good.
but yeah,
Good time.
Wait, we're doing that on time, yeah.
Yeah, we're solid.
58.
the one thing that I will answer though is that you stop. It's like it's like at a certain point, it's just straight up clear.
It's like spit.
Yeah. Huh?
It's like spit. Like whenever you come, it's like spit.
Think of it as like thick spit.
Like thick, like pre-cum, or are we talking like
Kind of like it's
Because
weird.
pre-cum's clear.
Yeah, it's like at
Mine's
like
just like Elmer's glue, dog.
Okay, actually,
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Cumcast.
I mean, okay.
yeah. At a certain point, it's clear. That's all I remember. I ran out of little boys.
Oh, why are you gonna phrase it like that?
I ran out of little homies, dog.
Little homies are like that, but it's kind of weird still.
Actually,
I'm
you know
talking
what?
about my sperm, guys. What the fuck? I ran out of.
Since we're all males, let's talk about the most awkward times we've popped a bone dog.
In class.
That's not awkward though.
No, if you're
Presenting?
if you're presenting,
If you're
bro, that's
presenting.
GG.
If you have to stand with a bone dog, you're like, oh god, I'm about to be.
Oh, I didn't give a damn. This is like when I got. This is like senior year, and I just didn't give a damn anymore.
Bro. For some
I was
reason,
just like, fuck it.
for some reason, during pretty much every job interview I've ever done, I get a big bone dog,
Honestly, I think.
and I wear those like those stiff pants when you're doing it.
Yeah.
And bro, I have to do the arms over the lap thing, just kind of like push that boy down.
Did you guys see that TikTok where the girl reveals all of men's secrets for hiding our junk? Where she's like the hands in the pocket technique
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the hoodie drag.
The worst is that for me, it's like when I wear gym shorts. If I get anything down there, bro,
You're fucked.
it's like that's fucked.
Yeah.
You can see
That's GG, boys.
you can see the whole imprint of everything, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
Skylar-
That's
fuck.
GG.
Skylar sits in my car and then the AC hits his PP and he
For
immediately
some
hits a
reason,
stiffy.
every time I get in Joe's car,
Every
I
time,
get- I
dude.
pop one, and it's weird.
That's
We-
weird.
we
that
won't-
it's
we
like-
won't-
in front of you.
we
to
won't
do
talk
do
about
I'll
No, it's too late. You've already.
It's weird that you know.
Should we
Like,
talk-
every
should
time
we-
I get in your car, I just pop a stiffy. Is it because you're
Wait, do you
alone?
as well?
No,
Oh, okay.
No, he's referencing you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't really
I don't know
pop.
about
This,
that.
this is what it is. He sits in my car and he man spreads
Well,
and the AC goes up his pant leg and it hits his PP and I don't know what happens, but
well,
something
the
makes
thing
it hard.
Thing is, I naturally
I don't make him
I
hard.
naturally
I
sit
know
my hands
that.
in my lap
That'd
even
be
before
gay.
I have a boner, and something just
You've been
happens
popping
down there.
boners so much that stance is just natural to you.
Well, no, I just sit like that sometimes, like just chilling.
Yeah.
And I guess I fuck with it, and it gets like it's like, oh, we're doing this now. It's time. We're going.
You
But no,
accidentally
nothing's happening.
masturbate.
I think
I'm
the
just like sitting in a fucking IHOP, and I got a full bone dog.
Just knocking the table.
Yeah, you just hear fucking.
I don't think I've ever told any of you this story. So
Oh shit, boys.
Oh boy.
Podcast exclusive. Boys.
podcast exclusive. Okay, so
He was talking to his crush and it popped.
Oh.
no, that actually doesn't happen. I have really good control over
goes
my.
inside.
No, I can flex my legs, and since I have
She
so
goes
much,
up to his stomach.
since I have such large legs, because I'm a fat boy, I can instantly shut down
You're a tall boy,
a
dog.
hard
What do you
boy.
mean?
I'm both. I'm in both clubs. Anyways,
Okay.
so the story.
Tall king.
We talk. We're all kings.
Facts.
Hey.
To all my short kings out there, keep that hustle going, boys. Anyways,
If you're under 6 foot, you're not a man.
So actually, my cock is so big, I actually can't pop stiffies or else I die. So
Shit.
oh,
Get a heart attack.
we're doing that bit, dude.
no.
Okay, I was like,
Like all the blood rushes into your fucking dick that it just passes you out.
I pass out and die.
what was his name?
All right, I'm-
Something Mudbone.
OG Mudbone.
OG Mudbone.
What's that?
Oh,
I've never heard of this.
I hadn't heard of it until last night.
What's OG Mudbone?
It's like this porn thing. It's weird. If you look up Pornhub and if you type in OG Mudbone, it's like this fake.
This guy nuts, huge nut.
It's fake though. It's like a fake.
It's a fake PP, but
Yeah.
you like they do it well enough to where you don't know. Like if somebody didn't tell you,
It's straight up is like a mayonnaise bottle on somebody's face. Bro.
no,
Sounds like
the,
something
I
you
like the,
should cast.
bro. It's
I like the
weird.
first example you used, ketchup bottle.
I didn't like ketchup because
Ketchup.
I don't want to be. I don't like red associated with that.
Yeah. Okay. No, sorry. Let's get back to the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get your
This
story.
is getting hella off
Can you tell
track.
the story?
What happened to the
Me.
boner?
Okay, so I was taking a speech communications class. I'm not gonna say which one. It was the second one.
This in college?
This is in college.
Not gonna say
Okay.
which one. Immediately it says which one. So in the second one, right?
Oh boy.
And there was no women. And I think there's 2 girls in the class. One was fat with a bunch of piercings.
Fucking virgin.
And then there was another one, and she had like that cute Asian bitch vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like the big round glasses.
Wait, why'd you just do that?
What?
Why'd you make a throw up noise?
Because she was ugly.
No,
Oh,
the,
she's
the,
ugly.
the piercings girl was ugly.
Okay.
No, she was like the cute, like bookworm Asian bitch.
Ooh.
Nice.
Fuck with it.
Right?
That was it. And then the rest of the class was guys, and we were all good friends. All the guys in the class got along.
Homies.
The
Did you
homies.
pop your boner for the boys?
No, kind of, yeah. So this would happen, right? I
Hold
go.
up.
Display
No.
dominance.
Let me finish. All right. So I go up and I'm
You popped
starting
the
to
boner
give
for
my
the
speech,
boys.
and I have extreme anxiety when it comes to public speaking, especially when it's a written speech
I
because
thought you were good at those things.
I'm good at it, but it doesn't matter. I get anxiety regardless.
Yeah.
Like my actual presentation skills are really good. I just have high anxiety that follows. So I go up there and my blood's fucking pumping. I can hear my heart in my ears. I'm like, this is like when you have a heart attack type.
How does blood sound like?
I was gonna do ASMR for it, but yeah. No. Long story short, I go up there and my heart's racing so hard that I get hard.
Oh shit!
And I'm you know, fuck. You
Yeah,
guys will
but-
understand what I'm talking about. You know what work pants I wear? The khakis, but they're stretchy.
Yeah.
I had preemptively tucked into my right leg
That's good.
because that for me is the.
You go right.
I go right.
I go left.
Well, to be fair, my pee goes straight out. I don't have a little either way.
Mine hangs left. I'll be honest.
Like curves,
It
like
is-
a compass dog.
No, so
Like
it,
a-
It has a
crescent
slight
moon?
curve, right?
Yeah, naturally just kind of.
Yeah. So for me, I have a straight boy. So
He masturbates left-handed.
I
Curves
can't. I
that go-
can't personally.
anyways, so for me, mine goes straight out. So whatever side I choose, it's uncomfortable. But I'm like, I have a tendency to have this happen when I'm in high stress. So I go up there and I feel my erection forming in my pants, and I'm like, oh fuck.
It's like the Transformer sound.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it sounds like the fucking. It was bad. It's like whenever you place a block in Minecraft sound. You know what I'm saying? So. I'm at full attention right now. Like my soldier's hitting that fucking hella salute. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's fine.
Fucking
Oh yeah.
full
sorry.
salute. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Anyways,
Sended it.
right?
Wait, were you mid speech or something?
No, This was before I even started.
So you were just like going up there preparing.
I got to the point to where I was like, because I was sitting behind a podium,
Right?
right?
I was gonna say, is there a podium?
There was a podium,
Oh.
but one of the requirements of the speech is you move. You have to walk to you.
fuck that
It's
shit.
called 3-point presenting. So
Yeah.
you start on left. When you change points, you move to center. When you change, you move to right. And then whenever you end, you go back to center.
Did your pants look like Phineas's head and Phineas and Ferb?
Bro.
I guess you say a ring.
Bro,
a
like-
triangle.
Like if somebody played the nice cock sound effect, I would have
Nice
fucking
cock.
lost it, dude. Because no, like I even when I'm jerking off, I don't get this hard.
Really, you were full boy.
Dude, no, I was like
You were 113%.
I was uncomfortably hard.
The pants probably helped.
Yeah, like
I've been there.
like-
When you have 100% boner status, where you're like, because like when
full
you're about to
fucking
beat off,
throttle.
If anyone else touches it at this point, it blows up.
when you're about to beat off, you get hard, but you're not max. But when you're about to do it with your girl, it's max because at your pride, you know how good you're about to lay it down is how good her friends are gonna hear it.
It's like,
so you're
bro.
doing it better than you would do it to yourself.
It's like,
you
bro,
know?
that bitch is
it's like-
throbbing.
That's deep.
Well, that-
Bitch is
it-
throbbing.
it's facts because like
Yeah.
people talk, you know, and you gotta make a name for yourself.
Like, you
So,
see the veins
your
pulsing
boys
on
over
that
here.
bitch.
Oh my god.
like let's be real. Even when you're in like a 15-minute session and you're like going for time, boys. You said fuck coming quick. I'm going
Yeah.
for time.
I don't ever do
Okay.
that.
You still never reach full peak. Like that's just it, your body doesn't want to give it.
Yeah.
At least for me, I have a hard time getting full peak unless I'm like in it. Like I have to go full chimp brain to get that going.
Chimp brain, caveman brain.
So, anyways, let me finish off my little ditty
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I'm up there, max cock status. I'm sitting there and I'm trying so incredibly hard to flex my quads and my calves, and nothing is helping. Like I swear, I flexed my fucking both my calves and my quads like I was stretching behind the podium. I swear my dick got harder. I was like, oh fuck, this is
My boy inflated it.
dude. No, I'm like
sweating.
my shit was touching halfway down my thigh, but for a normal guy, that's like your kneecap. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, my dick is not this big. What the fuck is going on? So I ask, I'm like, hey, can I go? I need to go to the restroom real quick, right?
Mid speech.
No, like I pretty much I like because my professor was a woman, so she wouldn't get it. Like if it was another dude, he'd understand.
Yeah,
Boys.
He would.
Was it obvious you had a bone dog? Did you have your hand in your pants?
No.
you have-
It was very obvious I had an erection. Like there was no dude. I'm wearing fucking skin tight
boy.
You
khakis.
didn't like do the hands over your thing, like.
Skylar, I'm speaking. When I speak, I'm up
He's
here.
standing and
Oh,
speaking.
yeah.
But to be fair,
He's a tall boy.
No.
dude.
to be fair, it was actually better that my hands were up here bringing attention because it made people not look down.
They just see that cock down there.
No, dude, it got
Fucking
to
third arm saying hi.
dude, no, it got to the point I literally looked my professor dead in the eye. I'm like, I gotta go to the restroom, like now, like mid speech. I was like, I need to go to the restroom.
so bad.
And no, and dude, I fucking
bad.
she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. And I just fucking legged it, boys. Like,
I wish I was in that.
like let me put it like this. Like when a normal person runs, it's kind of graceful. When I start running, it's not graceful. It's like the fucking moto thing. The fucking likes you, and then they fucking that's me running. It sounds like 1,000 rhinos getting it the fuck on. So I'm just like fucking booking it, and it like the distance
bends 90 degrees and half.
No. So there's some more to this. So I get out into the hallway, right, and I get into the hallway, right. And I'm fucking panting because that was probably the quickest I've ever closed a 10-meter gap.
I fucking teleported outside.
I swear it felt like I closed that 10-meter gap in like 4 steps.
He ditched class for a quick.
Dude, when I hit outside the door, I was like, I've never moved that fast in my life, and
How many people are in this class, by the way?
30.
Oh shit!
It's a big class of just dudes. And so I get onto the hallway and I'm fucking booking it. Like I'm still acting like I'm in the room.
Oh my god.
That's pretty funny.
And I get to the bathroom, right? And I take my dick out and I just look at it and I'm like, go down. And like,
bust a quickie, dog.
Dude.
In that case, just
it literally felt like I had taken Viagra. Like I've never been that stiff in my life. I got to the point where I was taking a piss, like because I actually did need to pee. So I went in to go take a piss. And after I pissed, it finally started to go down. I was like, thank fucking God.
What's y'all's strap for pissing with a boner? Do y'all do the full layout on the toilet?
I just
Superman.
shit in there. I back my legs up and then I bend my whole body forward towards the
what you
wall.
gotta do.
no,
The one-handed method, you know.
The hands on the wall.
The one-hand
bending
method.
the shit down.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, I
'Cause that
gargoyle.
shit does not bend.
I was literally about to say the same fucking thing. I actually peed straight up into my mouth and I just like spit down.
Oh,
Joey's
no, that's not what I was talking about. Gargoyling is whenever you need to throw up and pee at the same time.
Fuck that.
Or you need to shit and throw up. So you sit on the toilet.
Oh, you leave room and you like.
Yeah, and you like look down and you jackhammer.
Yeah, dip the tip into the water.
Hey, it's still clean, dude. We clean it up, dude.
Oh my
I
god.
actually stand back and go for like.
Go for a 3.
Instead of snipe.
Go for 3.
My boy Chris Kyle.
Touchdown? Touchdown.
My man, power wash.
Bro, no, okay. Bro, I remember in elementary. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to embarrass him.
Yes.
But you remember in elementary school there was that one weird kid who had the dirt. No, don't say his name. You know who he is. The kid who had the dirt bikes who lived in those apartments behind your house, your old house.
Oh yeah. Starts with the E.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll call him E.
Yeah, E.
Call
E. I remember I walked into the bathroom. This must have been like 1st or 2nd grade. Like he was still like an infant pretty much. And I go into the bathroom to go take a piss in the one near the gym. I walk in. This motherfucker is literally naked, like pissing in a toilet.
In the bathroom?
Yeah, like he
Holy
he went
shit,
in
bro.
there and just stripped his clothes
Shirt
and was
off,
taking a
everything?
piss.
Well, what the fuck you need your shirt off for?
I don't know.
Don't make it
Extra
mess up.
airflow, dude.
Maybe
He needs that cooling, dude.
Whoa.
I don't know, dude. I can pack some serious power, but I knew a guy who was, dead ass. Every time he went to go take a poop, he dropped trowel, dropped everything. But I'm talking like he took off his pants and hung them up, and was like, "Hey, I get mobility. It's so much more comfortable."
I mean,
and
fair
it's just-
enough.
and it's
though.
just great.
If
And
you're not inconveniencing anybody, fair enough.
I mean, if you're
no,
doing
I
it,
mean, like he told me, and then I followed him. And I mean, I didn't go into his stall, but
but
like
you saw the shorts fly over.
Yeah,
The shorts fly over the
yeah. I was like, oh, all right.
underwear fly over.
Were
He's got
you-
a shit stain.
Speaking of shit flying up in the stall, were you one of those kids who would wet fucking paper towels and chuck it on the kid?
Fuck that. That was the most degenerate behavior. Because I was always the victim. That happened to me multiple times.
This hyena over here, fucking. The TV just turned on. You screamed so loud it
I
turned on.
screamed so loud it turned the TV on.
Bro, I didn't know we had voice controls.
Is that the voice control?
There isn't voice control on that TV.
Hyena laugh?
I think somebody. That's the call. Like you have like OK Google and Hey Siri. For you, it's just hyena laugh.
If anybody had their podcast on speaker, you just summon their shit, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, good thing.
I guess my.
Oh, real quick, I need to talk with you guys about something.
About what?
How do you guys feel about a bounce house? I know Matt wasn't here for this bit.
Oh,
Where?
God.
When, where, and why?
On Let Go, I looked up tables because I was like, we need a
Before
podcast.
we started this podcast, he literally he literally chatted with a guy talking about renting
when I
a
was
bounce
shitting?
house.
Bro, 4 hours for $75 to get a bounce house.
Thought he
For
said it was
4
a day. I
hours.
thought it was for
We
a
can do a
day.
lot of cool shit.
We're too heavy, bro. We would pop
Bro,
that
it's not
shit.
ours.
We would pop it and it would
not our
charge
fault.
us, bro.
We'd still have to.
They
we'd still
definitely.
have to-
They just wouldn't let us
look at
rent
you.
it.
They would look at you and ask, "Is this for you?" And you would say no, and you'd be like, "Are you lying?"
And he'd be like, "You're fucking full of shit."
It's
You're
like,
lying.
It's like
You're full of shit, big homie.
I'm gonna fill it with Vaseline and we're just gonna go.
No.
Vaseline. Why?
So I actually
naked?
have a horror story about bounce houses. I actually knocked out my tooth on a bounce house. I actually climbed up. So it's a.
You're not supposed to
castle.
climb them.
It's a castle. Well, yeah. I found that.
You don't give a
that
shit
out.
when you're a kid, though.
So pretty much
You're
what
right.
happened was I got the help of a 6th grader. I was currently like 2nd grade or whatever.
Oh, he was a big homie.
He pulled it down. He was strong enough to pull it down, and I grabbed the tip, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna climb." He said, "Okay," and he let go and fucking launched me.
Oh my god.
It fucking threw me out, and I let it face first on some concrete, and I busted out my
Boy,
tooth.
you ate shit with that concrete.
Dude, I
You
ate
straight
shit.
up ate shit.
And
bro.
my mom
Yeah.
was like, "Mijo, sucks to suck." She's like, "You shouldn't have done it."
I actually have a horror story.
Sana or whatever it's called whenever they do the whole little like
The
thing.
sacrament and all that shit.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I actually have a horror story, and you were there for this. You were actually the cause of it. Do you remember the old trampoline story?
You are the horror story.
We were fucking
Oh, yeah,
around
in my backyard.
Yeah, and he had
Once they saw this dude approaching. Once they saw this dude approaching the bounce house, everyone dipped.
wow. Wow, I take offense to that. No, I'm fucking with you. I actually don't give a shit. I'll fuck up a bounce house, boys.
Congenital.
Bro, they didn't make floors for people like
So,
me.
I
That's
forget
all
what
I'm
happened at
saying.
this trampoline. I remember I was like breaking springs.
Okay, yeah. So it
Or
was
no, you were because
no,
you're
no.
too damn heavy.
Skylar. Trampolines are made for like 4 people. I did not
Yeah,
weigh that.
you are 4
Skylar. Maybe when I was maybe now.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're sitting there fucking around this old trampoline, and it had already lost a couple springs. And we're sitting there, we're fucking around, we're like, we're gonna break some springs, and we fucking break a spring. It hits me right in the face, and that bitch came off with some velocity,
Yeah, that
dude.
shit's
No,
come
yeah,
off
it's a
quick.
spring.
Oh, this is a trampoline, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
bounce house?
And the fucking
Okay.
spring came off and slapped me in the forehead.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like literally,
They were
like
rusty old crusty.
like sideways, like.
Oh, this is a.
And I was probably like, we were probably like what, like 8, 9.
Yeah, I was young.
We were real young. I remember
At this
walking.
point, we were already breaking it, and we were just fucking like, screw it. We're gonna break everything because it was already pretty much used. It was gonna get thrown out probably.
Yeah, because I remember like half of it was sagging to the floor
Yeah, it
and
was
shit.
just
Like there
like-
was some fuck
It
shit
was
with it.
shit. We were like, fuck it. We're gonna
You know,
full
and
send
it,
this thing.
yeah, and
Full send
I
it.
remember like I just remember walking home after that, like crying by myself.
There's a big ass mark on your forehead. Look like a cock.
Guys ripped it out and slapped you with it. So what you give her for being too damn tall?
All right, well I think we should probably go ahead and wrap up. We're running at a little over an hour.
I guess
We're at like almost an hour and a half.
Hour and
I
16.
guess my boner story super fast is I never really popped boners during school so much, like the typical like
You
I'm
popped it
about-
during church.
well,
You get smited.
Bro, God be making me. God be kind of thick though.
it does happen, but the thing is like I usually get them like when I'm at work, and it's the strangest thing because like it's never like when I'm sexually aroused. It's more so when I'm like scratching or when I'm like adjusting something, and it's like, oh, I felt really good. Oh fuck, it felt really good. Uh-oh. And then it just goes from there. But like
yeah, he just keeps going.
yeah, I'm like I feel really
He
good.
just goes to climax when he's in the truck with Jorge. Just
No, that's not how that works. But it's like the randomest times. But like it pretty much just happens when I'm at work. I never really got many at like school or anything like that. But I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I've been very fortunate because I think I hit puberty at 18.
Dude, mad fortunate, bro.
No, I mean like I didn't start growing facial hair until I was like what,
That's not puberty,
21. Like this year.
God.
When did your balls drop?
Bro, who knows that?
It's like 12. I was 12 and they were hitting my knees.
I don't know. Hit my knees. Fuck off. All right, and on that note,
We'll go ahead and wrap this bitch up.
We'll have Joe's nuts drop in this podcast.
All right, well, boys, it's been fun. We're gonna go ahead and call it.
Yeah, thank you for listening in to the Hammered Hooligans podcast. This is episode 1. So please leave comments, suggestions for how we can make it better. We're going to continue to try to make it better. I know the audio quality isn't the best thing in the world.
We're working with it.
We're working on it,
hustling
boys.
out here, boys.
It's scuffed right now, but we'll get better, I
Let's
promise.
reintroduce ourselves. And then
Oh
we
yeah,
can-
because people might forgot. I'm Skylar.
I'm Jorge.
I'm Matthew.
And I'm Joe.
Hey.